Alright guys, Kremp here and say, hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. The OpTic boys seem ready for the upcoming CDL season with both Shotzzy and Dashy boasting some pretty impressive clips over the last couple of days. The Omni movement mastery that Shotzzy seemed to be able to employ so far definitely is going to give him an advantage, you would imagine, when the CDL season gets underway. Plenty else to get into as well. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, here we are on Skyline in the vent. It's, if you get spotted here, kind of difficult to get out. But it is seemingly possible to get up here and cause some problems to the opposition. Also confirmation, Mercury's joining the FC Stallions for the upcoming season. We kind of saw this rumoured over the last couple of days. That now seems to be a done deal. I think it's pretty exciting. Of course, they got rid of Phantoms. They brought in Mercury's. Questions on the leadership of that team, of course, given it's so many young guys. But some talented players on there for sure. Unfortunately, PaulEhx has been getting cooked. I don't know if you guys know the meme about PaulEhx. And I don't want to cook him too hard, right? But you guys might have seen this image floating around every so often. Like, people post this on Twitter all the time. And this is photoshopped, by the way. Like, it's not actually real, but it is like a Photoshop picture of PaulEhx, so it's going around for years, this one at this point, and it seems like yesterday Paul was getting cooked in the game. So he's made it to the top 250, Paul. Of course, he is, you know, the AR this season for the Minnesota Rocker, that G2 team, which is an interesting roster. I don't expect them to be excellent, but, you know, we shall see. And, well, people were pointing this out yesterday, so this guy tweets this out to 5,000 likes and, you know, well over 500,000 views. They couldn't get for a bigger jersey, so here he is on the right hand side, and yeah, I don't really know why they've given Paul this jersey. And Stanley was saying, why did someone say they gave him my jersey when he was obviously on that roster last season? But yeah, here he is, 19th place PaulEhx, and they probably could have given him something that, you know, fit him slightly better, I'd say, here on the right hand side. Competing since 2021, I thought it was just kind of a nice piece, but unfortunately Paul was kind of getting clowned for this on the timeline, and I thought this reaction was kind of funny, so Simp found this very entertaining, as did Kenny in the replies. They did my boy dirty. So yeah, unlucky Paul. Maybe they're going to get that one changed around. And Paul, I think, took it in his stride when he came to the timeline and tweeted this out. I ain't going to lie, I'm getting cooked right now, which was absolutely the case, to be fair, yesterday. Just quickly on Shifty TV, I think he might be joking here, just because there is a development in Warzone, I think, when there's some tournaments happening which are like creator tournaments, right, rather than player tournaments. So if you're a player, you might say, oh, well, I retire, and therefore I can play in these creator tourneys, and then I'll come back again and compete, which seems a bit questionable. But obviously we know Shifty, Mr. If the Bag is Right, you know, like going over there to the CDL, and that never obviously happened, although there were rumours that there were some offers flying around to players like Biffle over the last season or so. But yeah, and Shifty even mentioned that he was thinking about competing in challenges for the upcoming year. That seemingly never happened either. So yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't blame Shifty and Biffle and those guys for not transitioning over, but I think, like, you know, at some point you've got to put your money where your mouth is if you're going to make some sort of statement. I also wanted to get your guys' thoughts last night on the Flanks CDL draft. So if you guys aren't aware, on the Breaking Point website you can now put on a draft with your boys. You can do from 4 teams, so if you've got you and 3 others, or up to, I think, even 10 teams, which is obviously, maybe you can do 12, but I think certainly 10 teams, because 12 would basically, well, mean every single player in the league is getting drafted at that point. You can also just do, well, you can either do 2 ARs, 2 SMGs, you can change it around, you can add substitutes as well. And also it's worth noting, if you do go and do this on the Breaking Point site, as you're setting up the league, you also need to make sure that the amount of players in your league is the amount of players that you're going to run with, because if you have like, I did this myself, you have like an 8-team league, but there's only going to be like 6 of you, then the draft doesn't want to start. And also last night, because everyone was on the site, the servers were struggling and it was taking a bit of time to generate the drafts. So yeah, bear with us a little bit, but you guys have got a couple of days to play around with this before the CDL begins. And what I was going to say is you can just select Major 1 if you'd like, so you could run a draft just for Major 1 and then you could redo it with your boys for Major 2, whatever. But yeah, which squad do you guys think is the best that the boys put together last night here on the flank? So Ben J, he picked Simp round 1, which I think was, you know, I like a few of these teams, to be fair. I'm not a massive fan of some of them. I think that I would have probably taken Scrap if I had the choice as my very first pick. I think in terms of like overall fantasy points, I think Scrap's going to be, you know, delivering some serious numbers. But then again, I guess he's competing with HyDra a lot this season for some of those numbers, and he wasn't last year on Toronto. So that is a debate. I'm also surprised that Dashy was the 8th pick and Ksan managed to get Dashy. I'd have had him, you know, if I was 5th, 4th, I probably would have gone for Dashy. I think he's going to be very strong this year. Pretty surprised about the Drazah over Dashy pick, I will say, from Zoom. But anyway, then Pred, then obviously Ghosty got picked as like the 10th pick, and then it went down to Kenny, Sib, Gwinn, CleanX, JoeDeceives, Abuzah, Envoy, Beans. I think Beans is a player that I might would have picked earlier actually than this if the opportunity was there. Then Nero was picked as well, 04. I like the Raincore. I think like BenJ did a pretty good job here, given that he was first, and then of course he had to wait a very long time to get both 04 and Raincore. And I think like Ksan did a pretty good job with his team, I think. Dashy, Gwinn, Kremp, and Skyz. Skyz, I think, was a pretty good pickup, given that he was available so late here in the bracket, which did surprise me a little bit. And I kind of like the Hook pickup here as well from the team Nubler, right, and Abel, just because, okay, assuming, okay, Hook's going to get signed, and then he's going to fry, which he probably will. When's he going to get signed? That is another question. But tweet your thoughts on that in the comment section below. Feel free to get involved. There are also some rewards this weekend for the opening weekend, watch and earn and all that. So, yeah, feel free, I guess, if you watch, you get some stuff in the game. They've done this for the last few years. They're never, like, spectacular, but people love the double XP and stuff. Couple of clips though to share for you guys. So here's Shotzzy and Dashy both on the skyline having a great time. I mean, look, if you're in ranked or something playing against Shotzzy and he does this to you, you just gotta say fair play. But this would look absurd on the other guy's screen. He's flying off the top ropes here on skyline. Obviously gets a bit of like a bounce as well, and then guns the guy off a head glitch. Like, there's really not much you're going to be able to do about this. So this is the issue of your Shotzzy. We saw a clip from him the other day on this map where he was just absolutely slaying everyone in sight. I think he's going to be a serious problem, right? He was picked relatively early in that draft there as well, but the way the game currently plays, yeah, Shotzzy's going to be a problem on the map. He's going to be a bit inconsistent, as he tends to be. Some maps he's going to get caught out making plays like this, but I think the movement certainly favours him in general. But I wanted to share a clip from Dashy as well. He was getting frustrated at the hackers, but also on the, well, we'll see in a second, on the skyline as well. Definitely getting you to the nade mechanics in the game as well.
Oh shit, yo, 2 up there, You don't want to go there.
I got it. That shit is trolling.
I'm lagging. He's plat on you. Left on me, one. Nice.
Bottom bed one.
Hi, where were you?
Oh!
What the fuck?
Yo, clip that shit.
What the fuck?
Yo, literally Kobe, bruh.
Where were they? Bottom bed, all of them?
Larry Bird.
Nah, these guys are cheaters as well.
Oh my god.
Already is a cheater.
And it's Surge, bro. Yeah, this is the last one, regardless if we win or lose now.
Bro, Larry is about to.
Bro, we're about to play Larry
bro.
Bird, bro. Larry. Larry Bird, bro.
How is Larry even here, bro? And it's red card.
Yo, Larry Bird's about to shit on us, bro.
He actually has home court advantage.
This is TD Garden, bro.
So you do not see these every day on the skyline here, really any map in general. Gets a couple of kills. We know that Dashy's been playing around with like the linear aim response curve as well. Hits a stun, gets nearly the 3rd kill, decides to cook the nade, chucks it down there, gets guns, and then blows up literally the entire enemy team in one go. So yeah, that's kind of remarkable. OpTic, of course, get underway this weekend against Boston. That's their first game. They play on the Friday, and then I believe on the Sunday they play Cloud9 New York. Of course, 2 teams you'd expect expect them to probably beat. Boston, certainly the way that currently stands. We don't really know how good Boston are going to be. The coaches poll earlier today implied not so good. I mean, I think they even maybe got more points last year than this year. And of course, last year they're pretty terrible in the coaches poll rankings anyway. We talked about that earlier today. And then they play Cloud9, of course, a team that they played at the K-Town tournament and beat them, but obviously a team that should be stronger, but you know, maybe not strong enough the way things presently look. This is pretty entertaining last night as well. It seems like Control is not going away. Obviously, we've talked about this for a very long time now in COD, the possibility of getting rid of Control, bring in another mode. I think even Zoom was mentioning a couple of weeks ago the possibility of maybe Headquarters as a competitive mode. Obviously, we've discussed like Sabotage and One Flag, CTF and stuff like this in the past as well. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem especially likely that's going to change anytime soon, and Control is going to be the map mode combinations that we have for the upcoming season and maybe beyond. I'm not even sure if the pros exactly know why Control is always being played, but yeah, Ben J with the ice at the end of this run. 4 players in COD history only have won with every single teammate they've played with. This I thought was kind of remarkable. Will it stay the same for the upcoming season? That is a question. I mean, doubtful is the answer to you. Simp has won with every teammate that he's played with, which is pretty commendable if you think about it, right? Because he's been around a long time with plenty of different teammates. I mean, we're talking E United back in the day. We're then talking many iterations of FaZe over the last few years. Major Maniac and Priestahh back in the day. Then with Arcetes, Slasher, obviously Drazah over the last few years. Pred won with his original roster on the Seattle Surge only once, but he did win with Mack, Sib and Accuracy. And then, of course, he won with OpTic this season. The same story with Sib, won with that trio that I mentioned with Pred, and then, of course, went to the Subliners and won last season as well. This year's going to be more of a challenge for Cloud9 to win with Sib on that roster, and the same story with Hicksy, of course, who only played very briefly. He obviously came to Toronto, won a tournament with Scrappy, Insight and CleanX, and then was dropped from the team for Envoy, unfortunately for him. So it's going to be an uphill battle for him on Surge. But at the end of the season, there's a realistic possibility there are only 2 players in the league. And obviously, it's also not impossible that FaZe or OpTic can make a roster change this year, which would be kind of interesting. But absolutely unlikely the way we currently understand things to be going. But very much into your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
Dude, honestly, if anyone lost to us this year, they were dog shit.
What? You guys were godlike in Vegas.
Other than, bro, our team hated each
Is it
other.
really my fault? Like, dude, it's not.
Wait, you think my team was all sunshine and rainbows? I played with Ricky.
No.
I played with Ricky over my best player.
Brandon and Teach couldn't stand Ian. Ian couldn't stand Seth. Fucking, bro, Ian couldn't stand either
That
of
was when I was
them.
immature. Like, now I know what
couldn't
Ian's
stand
what he
Seth.
provides.
Like, bro.
Bro, I played with my coach.
Well, if I have this mindset now, we would have won everything. Well, I just thought I was Thanos.
You guys would have spawned in with TP randomly? It was if it was that bad, you guys would have spawned in with
It
TP.
don't matter. It don't matter. No.
I spawned in with Rick, and Rick didn't want to play it. The day before the event, he said, "Yo, I actually don't really want to play."
There's no way any of those guys liked each other.
I haven't
One
really
day-
played that much.
And the
No.
Latinas, Damon, the Latinas.
No, bro. One day I get on, and Ian and Seth are just bitching at each other. I'm like, all right, I'm getting off. The next day,
they actually hated each other.
the next day, Teach thinks he can get off because he's pissed at Ian, and he just gets off.
That's nothing, bro.
No, it was not nothing.
I promise you, it's nothing compared to what I was going to do.
No, it wasn't, bro.
I can't even say my shit on stream. I can't even say it on stream because it's still fucked up.
I bet you can't.
And this is like 6 years ago. I still can't do it.
No, nobody on our team liked each other, and I was just the middleman.